We understand that many of the Western world ways of doing business goes against Iraq's core beliefs. And we now know that these core beliefs are a part of Iraq's constitution. Thus, my question was and is, what is Iraq's core belief on the Forex market, or Bitcoin for that matter? And in this video, we will answer that question for you. A question that many IQD investors never asked, and certainly U.S. politicians never asked, because if they had, the second Bush administration would have known getting the Iraqi dinar revalued could be difficult. I need to share with you one more thing. What our government has not made clear. The bottom line is trading in the Forex market goes against the teachings in the Quran. You will need to read the article to understand the details. The article was updated in May of 2021. It has something to do with not knowing the outcome of your investment. Thus, you are gambling, which goes against Islam's teachings. In the coming week, we are going to talk about exporting gold out of Iraq to enhance our IQD investment profits. Central banks around the world are following the footsteps of Bitcoin, blockchain, transactions to make their country cashless. This cashless society idea is growing much faster than you could ever imagine. We know this will do two things for any country that goes cashless. One, the banks will earn more money than they have ever earned in history, and this will be through fees. And two, tax agencies will collect more taxes than ever before. Why? Because with a cashless society, the government will know about all of your transactions. In the news sector, we have three important articles that you may want to read. First of all, Kurdistan gives oil companies 18-month deadline to end gas flaring. Now, while this may be a good thing, the problem with the request or demand is the two-page letter does not talk about the finances surrounding the cost to end gas flaring. Next, we learn why Biden won't fully withdraw from Iraq. And it seems that this may be more true than we thought. The article is a detailed comparison between the Trump administration and the Biden administration surrounding Iran and Iraq. Water wars could pose a real threat for the Middle East.
It is not a field, it's a lake, except there is no water. So grass is growing and feeding the sheep. Like other water streams in eastern Iraq, Hamreen Lake has been drying up since Iran started diverting where the rivers flow near its border with Iraq. Now life in the Diyala province is all about drought. Canals that were once full of water are now filled with rubbish. Nearby orchards and farms are a weathered, desiccated landscape. About 65% of Diyala residents relied on agriculture. Many of them have now left. Dead roots are all that remain of Ali Mutlig's orange and pomegranate orchard. He says some of his neighbors have had to take on construction jobs and pay daily.
Only a few farmers manage to dig wells to irrigate their land. We buy underground water for household use, and it's still costly because we've lost our farms, the only source of income.
Tankers now provide the water supply for many areas. But in some remote villages, water from wells is desalinated and sold for drinking. Officials say that cannot be sustainable.
We can't rely on well water for a long time. We have suspended all agricultural activities. The two countries must start negotiations and come up with an immediate solution to the crisis.
Iran and Iraq had a 1975 agreement for shared water, But that fell apart when the two countries went to war in the 1980s.
Hamreen Lake used to hold more than 2 billion cubic meters of water. But because of Iran's dam program, it has lost much of that capacity. It has resulted in the Diyala River drying up, seriously affecting one of Iraq's two major river sources, the Tigris.
Iraq has been suffering significant water shortages in several other regions. With flows of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, the country's lifelines also obstructed by dams built by Turkey. Experts say unless a deal can be achieved on water supplies, hundreds of thousands of hectares of agricultural lands could disappear. And that could cause a major population shift in the region. Mahmoud Abdul Wahid, Al Jazeera, in Diyala province, eastern Iraq.